Yo, what's up, guys? Just here to record a quick video about my build. I've been getting a lot of questions about it in chat, so I figured I'd have something that I can link in chat from YouTube. So I'm going to put it on YouTube and have a nice little video explaining it all. Basically, I've been an assassin build, sword and shield with spear player since launch. Just started playing again with the new update. I'm a little bit late, actually. I just started playing 4 or 5 days ago, so I'm still trying to catch up with some of my new gear. You know, I've heard people call this the Spartan build before. I was definitely one of the first players using this. Mine's the way I do it's a little bit different though. I can say from experience, most of the people that I see using this weapon set, they have different skills that they're using, and they're usually not in light armor. So I play full damage, light armor. I'll show you some of my gear that I have right now. I'm still working on some stuff. These are all just placeholder items, but I am running the new spear artifact, which is great for me because I've always been a javelin user, which I think is one of the big differences. So I am single target, high damage assassin playstyle. So if you're into that, it's definitely a pretty high skill build because you are squishy, so you gotta have good mechanics and good dodging and good awareness on what you can and can't accomplish. It's definitely a build where you can get a lot of kills. I put up 10, 20 plus kills pretty often in OPRs, usually with very low deaths. It's definitely really good in Outpost Rush, specifically for back capping and solo play, which I think is why I gravitated towards this, because I am usually a solo player in this game. So actually, before we get into the gear that you'll probably be looking for, let's just go over the skills real quick. So sword and shield I use essentially as mobility and just for utility. So obviously leaping strike, the best gap closer in the game. You can also use it as to chase people down, jump on people, or also for escaping. Shield bash, best stun in the game, longest stun, pretty easy to hit. And then shield rush, which can be used offensively or defensively. It staggers and slows the enemy, but also can be used for mobility. I use it a lot to get out of roots and whatnot. So you can use it while you, for example, if you get stuck in an ice shower. You're chasing a guy down, he drops an ice shower, it happens to catch you, you can just turn and shield rush out of it. So I do that a lot. Works great for the mobility. So you're never really doing damage other than using these skills. With sword and shield, I don't hardly ever auto light or heavy with the sword. It's just strictly for mobility and utility. Then this spear is your damage. You're going, mostly dex. I'll get into that in a little bit. But I've always run skewer with vault kick and javelin. So essentially, the skewer is your big damage. The javelin and the vault kick, obviously, for the combos. But basically, you're skewering them once you have them knocked on the ground. So the key is to get onto them with the sword and shield, stun lock them, javelin them to the ground, and then it actually sets you up very nicely for a skewer. I will say it is a little bit harder, and I'm still adjusting to landing the combo with the new javelin, or the new artifact, because it pulls them, which just requires a little bit more aiming and practice. But otherwise, if you're not running the new artifact, the javelin knocks them down about right there and sets it up for a perfect skewer volley. So super easy combo there. But yeah, basically single target, blow them up, and you do a ton of damage. And once I was back when I was playing, when I was fully kitted with best in slot everything, I was anybody that was light armor that I would catch with a stun was just 100-0, like guaranteed they're dead before they can move. Even people in medium armor were getting put to below half health, and they're left with the skewer bleed, which is one of I think the strongest dot in the game. So their health's ticking down, and you're just chasing them down. The big plus sides of this build, obviously, are the high damage, but also the mobility with the light armor, combined with the mobility of the skills within the sword and shield tree. along with Skewer, which can also be used as mobility to get out of, Great Axe Grav Wells or Ice Showers and whatnot. The Skewer is the same. You can use it while you are rooted and whatnot to get out of things. Um, but yeah, essentially, you just don't take fights that you can't win, and no one can really catch you. So it is a fully kite and chase build. So the way I usually play is if I don't think I can win the fight, you're just running away and kiting, and you can turn and look back and just keep kiting until one or two decide to stop chasing you, and as soon as it's down to two or three players and you're pretty confident you can win the 1v2, 1v3, then you turn back around and you kill them all. So that's essentially how I play the build. If that's interesting to you, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what kind of gear you're looking for. So the new Javelin is great. The new Scorpion Sting, rather, artifact. I'm not sold on this gem. I'll probably be running an Opal gem. I'm just broke right now, or haven't put a new one in there yet. I was messing around with the Retaliate, but definitely going to be an Opal gem. Rune glass, rather, once I have the coins to rune glass everything. This is all placeholder stuff. So I'll show you like what I have now and what I had previously and kind of what you're looking for. But Shirking Heels is the play right now. I do have a full PvP set, but it's 600. So I bought some placeholder stuff that I'm messing around with to just get freedom back into my build. So I'm running 4 freedom. 1, 2, 3, 4 freedom with some enchanted wards and health bonuses. And then I still have Shirking Heels on my wrists and Shirking Blessing on my boots. And I'm going to be putting another Shirking Heels on my boots as well once I have the Dark Matter to buff that up. I'm a little currency broke right now. But yeah, essentially you're looking to run 4. My ideal build would be 4 freedom with as many Shirking Heels as possible. Probably Shirking Heels instead of Enchanted Ward on these. So it would be, I think you could, I would go without the health and just go Shirking Heels. But the health and Enchanted Ward are good fillers if you can't find like Shirking Heels on everything, which is pretty hard to find right now. No one's really crafting good Shirking Heels items, and if they are, they're not selling it. But yeah, basically the other key things are you have to run this build and be light. You have to be full light armor, and using a round shield, it puts you at 12.7. So on your shield, since it is full utility, you definitely want to have Fortifying Shield Rush on there because you get a bigger bonus since it's on the weapon rather than on the armor. Keenly Jagged on the shield as well with shield aggression for just a bleed that will apply when you leap in, or sometimes when you hit him with shield bash even. Definitely want Keenly Jagged because again, you're switching to your spear for damage, and it's the only buff or debuff rather dot that stays on them. And for example, like if you had Keenly Empowered, it goes away when you switch to your spear to do damage. But if you put a bleed on them and you switch to your spear, the bleed stays on them still. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's the only thing that stays on them. Vicious is great for, you leaping in with Leap Strike and hitting him in the back. It's just burst damage added to the Leap Strike. Same with shield aggression. So this is my ideal shield. I need to find one that's 700, obviously. This is my placeholder sword. I'm looking for Plagued Crits, again, because it's utility and it's like the only other thing besides Keenly Jagged that actually applies something to the enemy rather than buffing you. And so Plagued Crits is great because I do often get people weak and then they start running and I'll have another Leaping Strike up and I'll hit them with that, usually in the back because they're running. So it is a crit, and it's great to have the healing decrease while they're trying to pot up and run away. Another Vicious, I think they stack now. You didn't used to be able to get Vicious on the shield, I don't think. They just changed that with this update. Again, I'll show you my old gear to just confirm all this. Shirking Frost is a placeholder. I would prefer Attunement for just more burst damage. 14% more damage flat out would be great. Otherwise, Rogue. Rogue did get nerfed. The numbers are way lower now. Rogue or PvP Backstab would be good also. Perhaps instead of Vicious as well, because those numbers are higher. But yeah. Ring, you're looking for Thrust Damage Hardy and Invigorated Punishment, probably. Leeching is also a good alternative. This ring is craftable in the kiln, so it's easy to get. Uh, I do run, I spam the heck out of my pots. You definitely want Healthy Toast, Refreshing Toast, and Regenerating. Those are the 3 best for the earring. You get heals from the mana pots, even though you don't use mana, which is great. And they're on much lower cooldown. Don't underrate the Healthy Toast, it's huge. They're on like 10-second cooldown for mana pots, so you can just keep spamming them. I'm using Ankh right now, just because I got it. It's not bad. This build, essentially, I'm not running that much con, so it's not that good. Because a lot of the health bonuses and divine and healing bonuses are based off of percent health, because pots are based off the amount that you get healed is based off of your max health. So since I'm not running 200 con, which most builds are running 200 con right now, it's not the end of the world if you don't have Ankh, but because it's not that good. I would run. Ideally, I want to run the stopwatch. I don't have it yet. I just started farming for it. It's called Lost Stopwatch. It's the new artifact. It's going to make the stuns last twice as long. So that's going to really make this build something that people are going to start paying attention to more, I think. People already hate playing against me, and I can't imagine once my stuns are twice as long and I can hit the super combo on people every single time, even if they have freedom, that they're going to be having a good time. Can't imagine they're going to have a good time with that. So that's pretty much it. I'll just show you my attributes. So let me throw my food buff on real quick to just confirm it for you guys. But I do currently have and will have 300 dex, 150 con, and then just the rest in strength. The 350 dex is intriguing. I might switch over to that. You do lose some damage though because of diminishing returns. Even up to 150, I'm getting more base damage, quite a bit more base damage from stat points in strength, because spear scales secondary off strength. But since it's much lower than 300 plus, it's scaling at a higher rate. So yeah, that might be worth. Maybe not though, because again, Spear has a lot of built-in crit. My crit chance is already quite high. So yeah, probably 5 to 10% higher base damage from the last 50 plus points in strength. So I might mess around with that, but you definitely want somewhere. You definitely want 300 dex, maybe 350, and you want 100 plus strength. You want to get the 10% physical damage, and then 150 con. Again, you're just going for high damage. You want to be able to get in and out, kill people, and move on. Yeah, that's the build. Really good in 1v1s. Definitely thrives in smaller tier combat. I would not say it would be great for wars. It is still great in OPR if you play back cap or just play around the edges and pick off squishies. It does dominate pretty much everybody in 1v1. So I will say the only people that are remotely annoying for me to fight are blunderbuss players, as they just have stamina and heal cut decreases. So those are the most annoying. But I don't really struggle with anybody else 1v1. It's just sheerly a 1v1. You don't lose your 1v1s. And if you don't want to fight people, you can just run and kite and then come back. So it is got to be one of the most annoying things to play against. So have fun out there, and if you have any questions, stop by the stream and ask me. Peace.